Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video today mostly because I'm due. It's been what, 2 months? So I'm right on track, right on schedule for how I make videos. 2 months later, good to go. But a lot of people have been making videos about their most valuable albums, CDs and such, based off of Discogs. And I wanted to throw my hat into the ring and make my list, which I did right here. And what I have here is the medium price, the lowest price, and the highest price. I mostly go off the medium price because the highest price, it's going to be immaculate condition or it's going to be signed, and that doesn't really count. Low price, that means it's probably in poor condition or missing the sleeve or something. So medium price is what I go off of, and that's how I arrange these. But I'll mention the three prices or even what it's selling for now. I got 20 here, so let's fly through these. Number 20, I'm going to lose track of the numbers, so I'm just going to say next one. But the first one, Dio, not an old album, came out, what, 2 years ago? Red vinyl. The lowest it sold for is 19 bucks. That's probably right when it came out, I bet you. Somebody bought it off Discogs right away. It sells for 75 medium right now. 110 is the highest. If you want it right now off of Discogs, it's selling for 80. Next is a Blu-ray, actually. Blu-ray surround sound mix of The Who's Quadrophenia. It's just the album. There's no video on this. There's images that come up on the TV, but it's not really video per se. It's the whole album in 5.1 surround sound. I forgot where I got it off of Amazon or eBay or something. I don't know what I paid for it. But the medium price right now is 75 bucks for this. This is all American dollars. The highest is 95. If you want it now, someone's selling it for 55. Next is Pearl Jam Versus, an original 1990. When did this come out? 92, I believe, I think. Or was it 93? It's a 93 pressing. It's selling right now for $55. The medium price is 80 bucks. Someone paid as high as 165 for this. It's probably maybe still sealed, I'm guessing. Next, we're actually going to go into reggae, and this is Don Carlos, Harvest Time. Kind of hard to find. It's selling right now for 75 bucks on Discogs. Medium price is 80 bucks. I think I paid about 50 for this about 3 years ago. The wife is really into Don Carlos, so I wanted to make sure I got that on vinyl. Next one is actually a box set, anniversary edition of Soundgarden Super Unknown, with books and CDs, outtakes and B-sides and all kinds of crap. It also comes with a 5.1 surround sound version of the album. This sells for, right now, if you want it, costs you $140. I got it when it first came out, pre-ordered it on Amazon. I think I paid 60 bucks maybe for it or something. The medium price on this is, I'm losing my place, $86. Let me make sure I don't have a collapse here of albums. Miles Davis is next with an original mono version of Kinda Blue. Bought this at a record store here in town. What did I pay for it? 90 bucks, I think. The medium price is $88. If you want it right now, in good plus condition, which is bad minus in reality, 60 bucks. The highest someone paid for this is $555. It must have been in great condition. Next is a weird little album I have. I bought this in the 80s. I found it in a record store. This is, I'm a big Pat Benatar fan, if you don't know. You probably do know. This was shipped to radio stations in the mid-80s, maybe 1986. This is handwritten there. And it was a live performance. And maybe like on a Monday night or a Wednesday night, the radio station would play this as like a radio special. It actually has Levi's and Budweiser commercials on the album itself. And it comes with a little cue paper to tell you when to put in your own commercials and stuff. The box is in bad condition because they did not make these boxes to last. No one in 1986 thought that these would be collector items. Nobody. So they didn't make it to last at all. But if you want it right now, it's not for sale on Discogs. But it's the most someone paid for it is $104. The medium price is $90. The least somebody paid was $75. The box in this condition, I don't know what someone would pay for it. There's not a lot of Pat Benatar geeks out there who would pay a lot for it anyways, except me. But I bought it, I think, in the 80s for maybe... I was broke. I was a broke college kid. So I probably paid about $10 for it. Next is Pearl Jam No Code, an original 96 pressing. I'm pretty sure this came out in 1996. I should have wrote down the years. If you want it right now, it'll cost you $105 on Discogs. Medium price $94. My wife got this for my birthday a couple years ago. For my 49th birthday. She paid, I believe, about around $100 for it. So we paid, we paid for it. It's cool to have though. It's in mint condition. So yeah, I would say this is worth about $100. Next one is an original UK pressing of the first Atomic Rooster album. This is like a proto-metal proggy band that formed around 1969 or 70. This album, I believe, is 1970. I'm going to guess 71. The American version of this album, they added guitars to it. This has no guitars. It's just keyboards and drums and bass, maybe a flute, but it's still heavy as hell. They still make it heavy. It's really cool. I paid, well, there's the price right there. I paid $55 for it in a record store, but on Discogs, and I bought this about 2 years ago. Discogs, medium price is $95, lowest is $75, highest is $165. But you got to understand, when you're in a record store and you come across something, record stores know that you're buying something on the fly when you see it. So the price is going to be way lower to get you to buy it. When you go on Discogs and look up an album, those people selling those records know that you specifically want that album. That's why you're there. That's why you're looking at it. So they're going to jump the price up. In record stores, though, they're not going to get Discogs prices because it's an impulse buy. So you're going to get but you got to look for it. You got to put in the work to find them in the record stores. That's the price you pay. Gojira is next with The Way of the Flesh. I think this version of this, look, these kind of albums, there's always 10 billion different kind of pressings, all kinds of different colors. Every few years they release another version of it with a different color. This one has blue and black swirls. It's like 2 or 3 years old. This version right now will cost you $95 if you want it. 96 medium, someone paid up to $142. 58's the lowest. Next is an album I bought in a record store on the cheaper end of things. I think it was like $30 maybe I found it for. It's Rush, original pressing. I think it's the only pressing of their last album, Clockwork Angels. This sells for $95 if you want it on Discogs. 100 medium, up to $150. The cheapest someone paid for it was $97. I got lucky when I found it and grabbed it. It was one of those times when you're like, oh, should I drop the $30 on this? I better just get it now. I'm glad I did. Next is a, believe it or not, box set, CD, DVD. I have more CDs worth a lot of money than I do albums in my top tier here. But these Jethro Tull box sets that come out, anniversary box sets, if you don't get them in the first year when they come out, they go for like up to $200, past $200 sometimes. It only takes a year for that price to get that high. This is Aqualung. You know, when they come out, they're about around $40. But this right now is selling for $100 if you want it. Medium is 106. Someone paid up to 160 for it. Something about these Jethro Tull anniversary box sets, man. I got another one coming up. Next is Dirty Diamonds, Alice Cooper, with blood splatter vinyl. This was a Record Store Day release about a year ago. I think about a year ago. So Record Store Day, it cost me, oh, you know what? I didn't even get this on Record Store Day. I went into a record store about 4 days after Record Store Day. So Record Store Day lands on a Saturday. I went into a record store on Wednesday, and they still had one laying there, and I grabbed it for like $20 or something. And this sells for right now $90, medium price $116, highest price $160. The lowest price it sold for was $65. So I got lucky when I found that. Next is a box set of Genesis. These things sell for a lot of money. I have 2 of them. I would like to get, there's 3 in all. I'd like to get the 3rd one, but the price of these just skyrocketed. And they make these on vinyl too, and they go for $1,000. But I have the CDs, and each CD has the CD version of the album and a 5.1 surround sound version of the album on DVD. This one I found in an FYE at the mall, which is just a cheesy little record store at the mall. I remember about 5 years ago I found it, and it was on clearance for half off. So I found this sucker for like, I don't know what I got it for, $26 maybe. But these sell for, this one sells for, if you want it right now, it's going to cost you $145. The medium price is $120. Someone paid up to $140. Lowest price is $85. So this is the least valuable one of the 3 Genesis box sets that are like this. Next one, Alice Cooper. Again, Alice Cooper. And again, Record Store Day. I got lucky when I bought this one because there's like 4 or 5 different vinyl colors of this album that came out on Record Store Day, and you didn't know what color you're going to get until you opened the record. You know, those kind of things. So I bought it, got home, and I got the green vinyl, which is the most rare of all the colors. So when it comes to the green one, it sold once on Discogs for $125. On Record Store Day, it was only about $27 or so. It's a great album, though. It's a cool reunion live album. I think it was like in a record store or something, so it's a very small crowd. And if you go on Discogs and look it up, the green vinyl, the picture of the green vinyl is actually my album. I took the picture and added it to Discogs. Next is Danzig. If you want an original Danzig vinyl, you got to pay the price. And that's what I did on this. They should really reissue these Danzig albums. But I was I was looking online on Facebook, and I saw a record store that I go to here in Columbus, Ohio, had it for sale. They said the night before, they said this is going on the floor tomorrow morning, so if you want it, come and get it. They didn't put the price though. So I went there first thing in the morning, and it was behind the register up on the wall, and they wanted $100. What did they want for it? $140 maybe, $135, maybe $135 for it. I was like, damn it! I was hoping it'd be like $70 or $80. So, but they knew there's a lot of people who want these albums, so they jacked the price up to what a fair price, but not a deal. So I was looking at it, and a guy stood behind me, and he said, dude, if you don't get that, I'm going to get it. I said, give it to me. For all I know, he worked for the record store, and he was just planted there to get me to buy it. I don't think that's the case, though. So I spent $135 for it, about, I think, at least $120. The medium price is $178. Someone paid up to $238 for it. If you want it now, it's $177. The lowest price is $146. So, I mean, according to that, I kind of got a deal. I guess, but I still paid an arm and a leg. I'm not afraid to pay $100 and some for one album. Maybe I'm just foolish like that, but F it, you live once, right? Next, Jethro Tull, another one of those box sets. This is Minstrel in the Gallery. I paid, the $40 they are when they first come out. But of course, a year later, the median price is $247. Someone paid up to $315 for this thing. The lowest price is $165. If you want it right now, it's $177. I wonder if that's in near mint condition, that $177. Because that almost seems, that seems fair. That's probably in good condition. These are really cool. I don't know if they're worth $200, but they're cool. Let's see, next. Well, let me save those. Those, I have two that are worth some money, but worth a lot to me personally. So I'll save those for last. This is the most valuable thing I own, though, according to Discogs. I showed you the one Genesis. Here's another Genesis. This one that I showed you was 1983 to 1998. So it's their 80s and 90s albums. Less proggy albums, more pop songs on these albums. This one is their prog era with Peter Gabriel, right up to The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. It doesn't have their very, very first album, from Revelations to Genesis, or whatever the hell that's called. But it has everything else from the 70s. And I got this off of eBay, like right before the value skyrocketed. Like, I'm talking, I might have got it, like, this might have been the last one sold at a reasonable price on the internet ever. That's how close I was. I paid about $60 maybe for it, and I've never seen it for that amount again ever since I bought this. But this goes for medium price $257 up to $321. If you want it on Discogs right now, someone's selling it for $300. The lowest it ever sold for was $180, which was probably a few years ago. So that's the big valuable one, and it's CDs. It's not even vinyl. It's not even that old. Well, it's kind of old. I think these are about, I'm going to say these are about at least 11, 12 years old. Time flies. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it is. My two most valuable to me is, I'm a big Pat Benatar fan, and this is her first album she ever did with a band in 1974. She was still working in a bank at the time. This is Coxswain's Army live. The only way you could have gotten this album is if you saw them live in Richmond, Virginia. They were selling it at the door, so it wasn't even in record stores. This sells for up to $230. Medium price is only $100. It's Pat Benatar. If this was something like this, but it was Paul McCartney, holy shit, it would be worth thousands. But because it's Pat Benatar, it's worth a lot less. But it means a lot to me. But you can get these. They're always on Discogs. They're more plentiful than you think. They're always on eBay. This has the shrink wrap, original shrink wrap on it, and the vinyl's in near mint, and I paid about $100 for it. This is something I thought I would never have as a kid. I always knew it was out there, and the fact that I own it now as an adult, it's like an accomplishment for me. And my second most valuable thing I own, right behind the Genesis box set, is the most valuable thing to me, maybe, in this house, other than my wife and my cats. No, this is more valuable than my cats. Maybe my wife. This is a Pat Benatar 45 that came out in 1974. Again, she was working in a bank. And this is almost like a 70s vocal song. I'm not going to say it's like Judy Garland. You know what it sounds like? Remember the TV theme shows to cop shows in the 70s? Kind of sounds like that. It's not awful. But rumor has it they made 200, And the story goes that Pat Benatar destroyed half of them. She didn't like the way it turned out. So that leaves 100. So how many really exist of that 100 all these years later? You know, they're only distributed in Virginia. So even if there's half of that 100, then there's 50. And this one's in pretty good condition. I paid, it sold on Discogs for $250, and it only sold once in 20 years Discogs has been around. Who's that guy who bought it for $150? Me. And here it is. So the fact, yeah, it's $250, but the fact is you never see it for sale, ever. One time in 10 or 20 years that Discogs has been around, it was even available to be bought. Tells you how valuable this thing really is, if you want it. So $250, and if this somehow got stolen or broke and it came up for sale again for $250, I'd buy it again. So there you go, guys. There's my most valuable records. Top 20, anyways. So hey, I know I don't make videos a lot, but I do have a couple videos I did on Sea of Tranquility. It's a station music channel here on YouTube. I counted down the Crosby, Stills and Nash records, our top 10 Elton John records. Tomorrow I'll be on, and we're going to do we're going to rank the albums of Graveyard, which is I don't know where to look on my camera, so if my eyes were to the left or right during this, I apologize. We're going to count down Graveyard's records. They are a more recent stoner rock, stoner sludge metal, not too much sludge, but some fuzz, hard rock band from the recent times. They have 5 albums out, and we're going to rank them. So if you want to find me on Sea of Tranquility, just put that in my name, and you should find me. So there you go. Take care, guys. Later.